Okay, here we go then. Now this video is on. This video is showing people how to make a vegetable stew. Now it might sound simple, and it is very simple, but I know lots of people cannot cook. And I find it quite incredible that people can't cook a vegetable stew. So this is how I would prepare a vegetable stew. First of all, you've got to use a new dog, my friend's dog here. Do you want to hear about mate? Go on. No, I'm not. I'm just talking to the camera. I'm not talking to anyone else. Like I'm talking to myself. Right. Big pot. It is a big pot. Okay. Saves a lot of messing about. Get a stainless steel one. You know. I've got to stop saying you know. It's a habit I've got when I'm doing this. Because you obviously don't. And I'm presuming you don't. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. This is just about the same ingredients that I used the other day to do a very similar one, and it was eaten in 2 days. You know, I said it again, didn't I? But so it's the same. It's the proven, for me, it's proven recipe. I prepared a few of the vegetables. I'll go through them quickly. What I'm going to use. Just take them away. Potatoes, I've got probably about £2, probably a kilo of potatoes. I've got some mushrooms, a few days old, but they're fine. A cabbage, which I'm going to use half of. 4 onions, 4 medium-sized onions. I've got 3 tomatoes there. A sweet pepper, which is a bit nasty, but I peeled it already, and it's fine. And so I've prepared some of this stuff already, just to save a bit of time. It's a little bit boring watching me peel spuds and clean potatoes. So this one, I've got no cameraman. I'm doing this on my own. I don't know why I've decided to do this tonight. Because a stew, it's winter, and we're all eating stews now. Well, at least you should be eating stews. And it might give me a little bit of time to develop the thing that I'm trying to develop, which is cooking for one man, getting over toxic relationships, looking after yourself, and getting through life. You know, getting through life. I said it again, didn't I? Getting through life. And some people don't. Now, if you come to this site through searching for help to get yourself through toxic relationships, it's not easy. And I've got to say, it takes time. It takes time. But to make it work properly, you've got to look after yourself. And you've got to feed yourself. And you've got to feed yourself on a budget. Because there's a good chance, if you're a guy my age and you've been in a toxic relationship for a long time, you would have been stripped of every penny you've had. That's the truth. And chances are, there's a very good chance you're not going to get any of it back. So you've got to, you've got to face life as if you're starting again. Now, that is what's happening. And I would say it takes 2 years to get over a toxic relationship, because you're well programmed for a long time. You're programmed not to think clearly, and with all the stress and the whatever goes along with it, you don't think straight. You don't think straight. So I now am hopefully thinking straight. I'll take my jacket off. It's not particularly cold. And I've noticed that when you're thinking fast, you heat up anyway. So I'm thinking quite fast now, believe it or not. Okay, let's start with the. Okay, so on a low heat there, just to keep the pot warm. Let's start off with the onions. I've got to say 4 onions. Put these in first. Careful not to cut yourself. I'm going to save that little bit of olive oil. I did buy some cooking oil the other day. I do prefer the olive oil, but I'm going to use this cooking oil because I'm nearly out. That was last year's olive oil. I don't know if I'm going to do any this year because the olives aren't particularly good. Yeah. Bit of oil. Oil's good for you, believe it or not. thing I haven't got here, which I don't want to forget, is the salt. Because I've got, okay. You forget the salt, otherwise it's not here. I forget lots of things. Okay, let's just check the camera's looking good. Yeah. I had to set all this up myself. The light's not perfect, I know. It's definitely not. Hello, dog. You're going out again. I'm talking to myself. I'm talking to the camera dog, not to you. So don't think that I am, mate. Don't really want to touch the dog really while I'm cooking, but there you go. I did. Okay. Right. I mean, I have noticed with the other videos, I haven't talked much about toxic relationships, the complex post-traumatic stress syndrome disorder, call it what you like, that you get being a codependent and being in a toxic relationship for too long. But you do end up actually becoming codependent, and even though you do realise what's going on around you is completely toxic, and I don't know anybody else that talks to each other like I was, or experienced it for so long, and I don't know why I did put up with it for so long. I think it's because there was other children involved, not mine, I might add, sort of stepchildren, but I do love them. And even though I knew our relationship was poisonous, well, I felt it was poisonous. It's only my opinion. It's only my opinion. I don't really want to make this personal. I want to make this about getting over toxic relationships in general, not mine. And I would say, I think I've said this already, I'm just starting to feel that I'm getting myself back together where I was before I was in this scenario that I was in. So, you can turn him up now, look. There you go, turn him up. I found doing big stews, use a flat bottom thing like that, and metal, because you can then scrape the bottom. If anything sticks, you can scrape it. If you don't scrape the bottom, things build up sometimes. So anyway, these potatoes, grown by my friend up the road, and I picked them out the other day. I've cleaned them and scrubbed them. I didn't scrub it all off. Alright, when you do these, size-wise, don't make them too small, but make them different shapes as well. But don't make them too small, because it's going to take a while to cook. This is not going to be eaten. It's going to be eaten. I'll eat a bit myself tonight, but I'm going to turn the camera off before it's finished cooking, and then I can say it's cooked for another half hour after. So that's the onions in first. The potatoes on the top, just to sit on top of the onions. This is how I do it. And as the onions are cooking, the potatoes are warming. There's no water in there, obviously, for these potatoes. So that's the sort of size you're looking at. Small enough so they don't disintegrate. These potatoes don't seem to disintegrate. I forget what they're called, these ones. They tend not to disintegrate, so you can make them quite small. But some potatoes, they will disintegrate, and they'll go a bit mushy towards the end of the cooking, which I don't really want. It's nice to have the potatoes whole, or as they are. But obviously with the stirring, the corners are going to get knocked off. They will shrink slightly with the stirring and the agitation of the stew. So as you can hear, the onions are cooking away there. Doesn't really matter if they burn slightly on the bottom. In fact, in some dishes I think it's better a little bit of burn, especially if you're doing chicken. Colours the chicken. One thing I've got to learn, this is number 3 by the way, video number 3. I should not mumble. I'm going to try not to mumble. I'm going to try and look into the camera. Totally unscripted, like I said. Toxic relationships. Now the idea of this site I'm doing is eventually I'm going to go and get a Google jobby, and we can all do this live. And hopefully I will advertise this. So if you're seeing this after I've advertised it, well done. If you're seeing it before, you're lucky. You're lucky. So spuds have gone in there. I'll turn that to the maximum. this kettle's already boiled, so I think I'll just let them cook a little bit more, the onions, before I pour the water in. And what I'm going to do is pour water in just to cover the potatoes. So to go with the potatoes, I'll put some salt in. I will, people think that's a lot of salt. I'm putting 1, 2, 3 teaspoons in there. Seems a lot, but it's not. This will be a full pot of food. So, and you've got to have salt. I believe you do. If you're a working man, you need a bit of salt, I believe, because you sweat it out. I'm not steaming too much. Okay. Yes. So hopefully, I'm going to expand on the narcissistic codependency and looking after yourself. But really, the information that I've got and come from the internet. The vast majority, I've read quite a lot on this scenario, but most of it comes from the internet. So when this comes off, hopefully I'm going to be given questions, live questions, so I can answer the questions as it's going. Yeah, so the viewers, after I've advertised, the millions of viewers will be looking. They'll be asking me questions, and I'll be answering the questions. I don't want to make it personal. There are people involved. I'm not particularly bothered about people that know me knowing this, because I'm actually going for a bigger audience. I'm not going for the people I know, and people that know me knew what I went through. They knew what I went through. And people that don't, well, it doesn't really matter. My face changes, hair sure, nobody knows. I did toy with the idea of the apprehension of doing it, to be recognised on the street. But to be honest, nobody's going to be trawling through the internet and go, "Oh, that's the bloke on the bloody." No, it ain't going to happen. So anyway, right. So this water's already boiled, so I'm just going to cover those spuds now. It's hot water, and I've boiled the water because it's changed a little bit of time. I've just covered them. So the idea is you bring all this. In fact, I'm going to put it on the hot ring, which I don't usually use. Close that up again. The bigger ring on the back, just to speed things up. Okay, so basically, spuds in first, because obviously they need cooking the longest, and then go through the vegetables as you think that they need cooking the longest. Now, secondly, I would say carrots, they need cooking the longest. So they've been peeled, these carrots, so I'm just chopping and tailing them now. I'm going to do the old-fashioned straight across like this. I don't usually do carrots like this if I'm doing them to be presented. I think they taste better if you do it long ways, but I'm doing it like this because it's a stew. I'm shutting up when I do that because I don't want to slice the end of my finger off. Again, using the old trusty cleaver. The trusty cleaver, that's all I use for cooking. It saves a lot of messing about. I've never had a real problem with it. Now the beauty of a stew, especially if you are a single woman, I say man because otherwise I'm going to see man or woman each time, but I say man, and this is primarily directed towards men, because it will be the man that will be living on his own, it'll be, I said again, didn't I? It will be the man, mostly, that's living on his own. It will be the man, mostly, cooking for himself. But I imagine women have the same problem. But I think generally, if a bloke's haven't been cooking for themselves, then I see a lot of guys just eating pizzas and things like that, eating pizzas, and they're not really looking after themselves. And the beauty of the stew is you cook the stew one day and eat some, a big pot like this, and you can that stew can sit there in somewhere cool. I don't even turn the fridges on. Look, I've got a fridge and a freezer. I don't even turn them on. I never have done. They're just for show, really. I don't use them. Even in the summer, I don't use them. I don't drink it. I don't need to. But what I'm saying is that stew can sit there 3 or 4 days if it's kept cool, and then you just heat a little bit in the saucepan. And I'll tell you what, I've left somewhere my little ladle. Never mind. Doesn't really matter. So, carrots in. Yeah, and so you can cook a stew, and you can eat it all week. And if you like a bit of meat, you can. See, I don't like adding meat to stews. 2 reasons. If someone doesn't like meat, then the whole thing's infected with meat, and you can't give like a vegetarian things with meat in it. And if you don't put the meat in, I believe it has less chance for getting, say, bacterial infection or whatever, or call it what you like. So, I mean, after the second day, if I will heat the whole thing, but generally you don't need to heat the whole thing. Just heat enough you need to eat, and let it sit. And it's better after a couple of days. It's always better. Sweet potato. I don't know what them black marks are, but yeah, it's just where the air's got to it. So sweet potato. Be careful when you cut these because they're quite hard, and you can have your finger off. Again, I'm looking for about 1 inch cubes for these. Smaller than the potatoes. 1 inch cube. Just starting to come to a boil now. So, inch cubes here, sweet potato. And this is just one large sweet potato. I'll try and find the ones that are roundest sides. Why? Because you waste less. You waste less of it in peel and things. You throw less away. So the harder vegetables in first. So don't worry about the little black bits. I think it's where the air's got to it. You should really have had it in water. Set in water. I'll tell you what I like nowadays. I'm going to put all these in. That's 300 grams. That's a good handful. That's a handful. I've got a bit closer. Look, a handful. Let's move this over here. Just check that that's playing. Hang on. Otherwise I'm... Is that playing? Yes, it is. The red light is flashing. I found the best way to cut that. Did I wash these? No, I didn't. I was going to rinse these. I know. All these vegetables have come from the Lidl, I might say. The Lidl. Am I looking for sponsorship? Of course I am. Lidl. So do that. Wrap them down so they all touch them, and then just whip the ends off. It's a little bit wasteful, but it's speed as well. Everything is speed. And if your bits you're cutting off, just the tips, going in your compost, well, come on. Not actually wasting. It's going to be recycled. I like to cut these at a slight angle. I think it just looks better when you see it in the pan. So. There you go, slight angle on the... These, small enough to not be flopping around in the pan, big enough to still be seen as a bean. So, beans. So like the harder vegetables in first, like so we've had potatoes, sweet potato and beans. Onions in first. Okay. Now, yeah, I mean, in a way, when I started the idea of doing this, I was going to be sort of, if you want, not pouring my heart out, but explaining from my situation. Why? Because you'll discover that when you're in a toxic relationship, it's very hard to get any sort of support from anybody for it because, well, people don't want to hear it. And I don't blame them either. I wouldn't want to listen to some guy rapping on about his crazy missus. It does your bloody head in. And so you find you don't process a lot of it, you know, and it does need processing, definitely. You've got to reinvent, you've got to de-hypnotise yourself, you've got to deprogram that toxic program out of yourself. And it's not easy. It's not easy without help. And I found the internet a great help, a great source of information. Because it tells you that the feelings you are having aren't because you're a nutcase. Yeah? The feelings you're having are because you were in a real toxic relationship. My symptoms are classic. I'm not going to go over them because if you're watching this, you know what the symptoms are. But they're not nice. Yeah? And generally, I believe, if you're a nice guy, you get shit on more. They can't believe. Actually, I don't think the narcissist can believe that they're getting away with treating you like they're treating you. And because they know that they wouldn't put up with that themselves. But if you're a nice guy, you sort of put up with it. Okay, I don't know why. So these are going in the aubergine. Love aubergines. Always good in stews. Cabbage in next. I'm going to use half a cabbage. I'll use the other one later on. I'll cut the bugger in half. Show the big half. I'll use that half. Half a cabbage. Take the outside leaves off. I'm not going to wash it all. I think it's sealed up. I don't know if this is correct, but I think the cabbage is quite sealed up, so I ain't full of bugs. This is how I do it. Like that. Not too uniform. It's all going to shrink and go to nothing anyway, just about. It's a bit more cabbage than I put in the other day. And if you think that there's not enough water in there, but do a little bit in there. A bit more. I don't like putting too much water in. You don't want a watery stew. That's the idea. You don't want a watery stew. So add the ingredients, the water, just to keep them covered. One thing I've forgotten, well not forgotten, did not utilise, is the lid. The lid makes a big difference. Things get hotter with the lid on. And that's the idea, is I'm trying to speed things up. Okay, right, where we go next? Aubergine, the old Orby. Here we go. Always, what a great vegetable. What a great vegetable. Again, I don't know why I waste that little bit really, I'll just do it to have it. What I do with these is, again, I cube them about 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch. If you're feeding children, they don't like to see the vegetables. So if you can make them small enough so they're sort of not that recognisable, they can get the goodness of a stew. This is not for children, by the way, this is for adults. Without going, oh, it's a vegetable. You can just give them the broth from it. So there you go, I'm looking for 3/4 of an inch for the Orby. So 3/4 of an inch squares. I'm trying to get these videos down to under 20 minutes. I don't think I'm going to do it this time, but that is my intention. But this is a stew. This is not a quick meal, but because I've been doing a few, this is my third one in the week or so. But I've been sharing it with other people, and they've been loving it. And saying they've been loving me stews, and I'm saying, well, okay, I'm going to have to do a few of these stews. think most of my cooking skills are self-taught. I've picked up a few little things here and there. Well, that bit was. But yeah, most of my cooking skills are all self-taught. I was my first wife. Was she a good cook? Not particularly. I remember when we was courting, she used to make all these things like braised hearts. Yeah. And she'd make a braised heart, you know, sewing them up and all this, and braising them and all this. She had done it a few times until we got together, and then it was like, well, I think it was like just to sort of get me on board. I think I had braised hearts twice, I think. Right, all the vegetables have been washed, so this is the courgette. This one, I sort of quarter it really into quarters. They don't hang around really, the courgettes. They just sort of tend to dissolve in the stew, especially on towards the end of the pot. They just about disappeared. So I'm looking about ½ inch for these really, because they're going to dissolve anyway. I leave the skins on. I mean, some people like to take the skins off. But I've read somewhere that the majority of the goodness is under the skin. We're about 3/4 full. I can't really show you. I'm not going to move the camera because it took me a while to set it up on my own. Number 4, I'm going to have a camera moving around and have a camera over here looking down. It'll be better lighting. I'm going to have, like I say, people asking me questions. Now, what I'd like to do is ask people before in number 4 questions that I could answer about the psychological process of being a codependent, really, and how to get over it. That's the thing. I mean, it's not a small thing. You know, you've been living with somebody, you know, somebody you love, and you realise that the relationship is completely toxic, and it's not going to change. You know, that's it again. It's not going to change. I mean, they've even told you it's not going to change. Beating their chest. I will never change. I mean, come on, man. They're even telling you this. So, and if you're in a scene where it's actually making you ill, yeah, and they're telling you it ain't going to change, you've got to get out. End of story. Doesn't matter how deep you're in. Doesn't matter how deep you're in. How many other people are involved. You've got to get out. That's a pepper going in there now. Right, mushies next. I'm going to slice these. The last ones I quartered up, but I think if you slice them, there's more of them. Then there's more bits. And I'm going to put the lid on. And put them in there. Put them all in one hit. So I think this film's been going for probably 15 minutes by now, so the potatoes are probably nearly cooked. Just about cooked, I would have thought. So I can afford to take that off of there and put it on the smaller one. So if you're clever and you source your vegetables from a good place, and you buy your potatoes in a big sack, you know, you don't buy them, I said you know again, didn't I? You don't buy your potatoes like I do, like Devil Little, but you buy your potatoes in a big sack, keep them somewhere cool. They'll last for ages, and you know, you could probably feed yourself for less than a tenner all week, and feed yourself well. That's what it's all about. I believe. Tomatoes, just about last. Don't need a lot of cooking, do they, tomatoes, really? I am going to put tomato puree in there. I put these tomatoes in just for my own, let's do that again in there, for my own what? So I know that there's whole tomatoes gone in, even though most of the flavours from the tomatoes are coming from that. But if you put tomatoes in, you know that you've got actual real tomatoes in there, fresh tomatoes. So you can say fresh tomatoes. You can say everything's fresh. It's all for a better vibe, isn't it? Everything fresh. Now I believe potatoes are probably on the way to being cooked. Doesn't matter because it's going to cook a lot longer. We're 3/4 full again. It will shrink. Everything shrinks, you see. Everything shrinks. Right. I was told by somebody that they liked the garlic in here. Sorry, the ginger. And I like ginger. And I don't put too much in there usually for other people. But I actually like ginger. See the way I'm just cleaning it with a spoon? Just rub the spoon down the side. Don't have to mess around with the knife. Just rub the spoon down the side like that, scrape the skin off. So this garlic, why do I begin to a G? That's why. There must be some problem with G's. Right. So I'm not going to cut it up as small as I usually do. I usually cut it up smaller, just to save the people that don't like the garlic. But I actually like to taste larger lumps of garlic. It's so I don't quite know how to cut this now. Make it a larger lump. So I'm making this up as I go along. I think one I'll cut small and one I'll leave large. When I say large, I don't mean crazy large. I mean like that, so you can get. I'll cut the whole lot like that. So you can actually have a nice large piece of garlic in your mouth. Garlic. God, I keep saying that, don't I? Not too large, obviously. There you go. Find at this stage not a lot will stick to the bottom because there's no powdery things in there yet. But what I'm going to do now, right, all the stuff's in. I'm going to do the sauce, but I'm going to light this front one just to cool it down, just to slow it down a little bit now because it's actually up to temperature. Keeping the lid on. Right, now I'm going to actually get rid of this. For the time being. Go out of the way, out of sight. Okay. Now the garlic. This is the garlic now. Plenty of garlic. You can never have enough garlic. It's winter. Everyone's coughing and spluttering, aren't they now? Everybody I meet has got a cold. Yeah, like, and not just in England, not just in Portugal, in England as well. Everyone seems to have got a cold, and people say the cold season. It's like, wow. I know there is various times of the year, but it's, hey, come on, man. It's what's going on? Talked to my sister yesterday. She tells me that she had a flu jab when she was 17. And she had the worst bout of flu she's ever had in her life. So, God, I've never had a flu jab in my life. Don't believe in any sort of thing. I think if you eat well, exercise well, don't drink too much. Oh yeah, a little bit of apology for last no, not even an apology, but I was Brahms really. The last video I did, not completely Brahms, but I was. Definitely, you can see a little bit giddy there on occasions. But I wasn't expecting to do that. It was summer refreshment, like I did say. I saw a lady. I never bought. I did buy one actually. Well, obviously, it went with the X. You can get a nice little device for getting the skin off garlic. It's a plastic rubber tube. You put it in there, roll it along, and the skin just drops off. Quite clever. I will buy one if I come across one again. I use my teeth sometimes like that when no one's looking. At the end of the day, any bug that I might have by using my teeth is going to be badly destroyed in that boiling water, isn't it? So let's get real, eh? Let's get real. I did intend to have one of my t-shirts on, wearing one of my t-shirts, but I forgot. I hit the button. I'm not going to go and change it now. One of my old flick beanie. Oh. These will be for sale on the site, my own label. These are now 2003, 15 years old. From an old project I had for here, flickbeanie.com. I've still got flickbeanie.com in my name, and it will be like a sister site to Dr. Hortofix. I will be advertising other things on this. That's the idea, so that viewers, if they want to support me, if they feel the need to support me, not the need, the wish, not the need, the wish. If they desire to support me, which I'm going to try and monetize this because I do believe it's a service that's needed. Just talking about getting over narcissistic abuse. Getting over narcissistic abuse is not an easy thing. This it can be very debilitating. So the idea. This is where I chopped my finger once doing this. So it is a service, what I'm doing here. I will be expanding my recipe and improving on old recipes. I'll do things like 15-minute recipes and 10-minute recipes. And at the same time, like I said before, answering the questions that people ask me about the codependency and the getting over it. And I will talk about various other internet counsellors that I wouldn't say I've used. I've always been too skinned. I'd love to have been able to use them, but I could never have the spare cash. Any spare cash I had, I lent. Never got back, obviously. So I've got no rainy day money left at all. All my rainy day money has gone to sort out somebody else's problems, not mine. And like I say, the chance of getting it back is bloody slim. Right, here we go. That's looking good now. It's shrunk a little bit. See, nothing will stick to the bottom much. Well, at all really, like this. It's looking good. Right now, flavourings. I will use, then if you can see, Iberian. The light's not good. Iberian spices. There you go, Peter. I said I'd give you a better look this time. Iberian. I don't know if you can. Let's have a look. You can't see a bloody thing. Okay. Let's try it with the candle in front of it. Iberian spices. Iberian spices. I'm looking for a bit of sponsorship off you, Peter. Next one. Here's a purveyor of fine spices, a local guy. And so what have we got here? We've got a little bit of Balti masala. I do my own mix. I put curry spices in, but I don't want it to taste like curry. It doesn't taste like curry. But I will use them as the source of flavour. So I'll put one of those in, maybe 1.5. I don't want it overspiced. So there's that. little bit of vindaloo for a bit of a hit. Now 3/4, one of them. Now this is the creme de la creme. Hing! Hing hing! Asafoetida hing. This is sap off of some root that you sort of scrape off and then powderise it. So you don't put too much of this in because it's quite strong, but there you go, look, half a teaspoon, whack, in there. And what I do, ginger powder. I know I put ginger in, but ginger's good for you. So you don't really taste it, really. But there you go, look, a good old spoon of ginger powder. Vinagre. Vinegar. Basmati vinegar. There you go. Not basmati, what do you call it? Never mind. Bit of piri piri. And, I'll tell you what I didn't put in. Turmeric. You should always put turmeric in, especially if you're a bloke. Your prostate, mate, your prostate. You've got to think of your prostate. Apparently, turmeric's good for your prostate. I'm nearly run out. I used turmeric more than anything else. So I'm going to put all of that in there. It seems quite a lot. It wasn't a lot. It's about two teaspoons. Right, now I'm going to put a little bit of flour in. Just to thicken it up, this is. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 spoons of flour. Now, if it wasn't for a vegetarian, if I know a vegetarian's going to eat some of this, so I'm not going to put milk in, but normally I would put milk in with this. So I'm going to put a bit of water in. If you use milk, it mixes in better. So I'm mixing this in now, all these together. Not a great deal of spice. I wouldn't want to drink this one. Cool. Knock your head off. If you do it like this, you tend not to get lumps of flour. If you put it straight in, you'll get lumps. If you do it like this, you won't get lumps. Or you tend not to get lumps. Doesn't really matter. But these are little tricks that I've picked up over the years. Jim, my mother's husband, my stepfather, he was always a big curry man. Learned a few things off of him. Not a great deal, but. So here we go. Don't like to put too much water in. Minimum water as you can, really, because you can always add water. It's difficult to take it out. Sounds obvious, but it's very easy to put too much in when you're doing things like this. And you can boil it and all that and it just seems a shame to boil the guts out of something just because you put too much water in. So if you don't put it in, you don't have to boil the guts out of it to make it the consistency you want. There you go, the lump going in. Who cares? Right. I'm going to stir up. Because I've done this before, I'm not going to taste it as I go. It's always better after it's been cooked. But I will maybe just taste a little bit off the top, just to. Now, I'm going to put all that in. I would say it's slightly too much. It's slightly too much, but because I will throw it away if I don't use it, I'm not going to use it again this week. It's fine now. It's not too much. It's just, it does seem sometimes to mask the flavour, sometimes tomato, but we'll see. Waste not, want not. But tomato is a beautiful flavour, isn't it? You're going to mask your flavour or something. I want to mask it with tomato, really. Oh, mixy, mixy. There you go, okay. Stir up. I mean, it's good for the colour as well. I mean, it does makes it very pleasant to look at. And things have got to be nice to look at sometimes. Taste isn't everything. Presentation is quite important. Now I think that is a good looking curry. I don't think that's curry. Why did I say that? Stew. I have used curry type spices. What have I used? I've used a bit of masala. I did put the sumac in. I'm saving that. Let's do. Oh, South African. I might put a little bit. I used to put a bit. South African curry, Jamaican. There's a Jamaican mix I used. I have a bit of vindaloo. Let's go on. And the hing. Oh, I've forgotten the golden ingredient. Well, not golden ingredient, but one that I find. I thought I brought it out. I didn't. I've forgotten. Beans. So, a big can of beans. Beautiful. They're going in. An underestimated addition, I believe. Doesn't matter, these are already cooked beans, they're not raw or anything, so they're already cooked. Don't do the throwing the juice away, it's only salt water, it's not going to hurt you. Some people rinse them all. It's bullshit, I think, really. More water than beans, yeah. And they do thicken it up. They all thicken it up. They won't need it because the flour's in there. The flour will thicken it up, and the beans will thicken it up. Wash and squash. Wash and squash. And there you go. Bring it back to the boil. All that tomato gone in there, and the you're going out again, dog. Go out. There you go. Let's cool it down somewhat. Lid on. Tidy as you go. I'm hanging the light from the. I usually hang that up there, but the light's hanging from it, so right over there. Plate. Let's rinse it all off. You rinse things as they go. It's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with doing the washing up either. This thing, a lot of people they've got this thing about not doing the washing up. It's a child thing. You do it quickly. I used to do it every day. I did it every day for years and years. Mainly because the old ex had something wrong brand, and I said I'd do it. So I did it every day for years and years. And I don't think she's particularly proud of it. But then probably tells me after years and years that I wasn't doing it properly. Huh. So there you go. Probably right, but you look a gift horse in the mouth before that gift horse fucks off. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. Right. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Come up to the boil. That's all blue then. I see blue. I think then there's blue, is there? I see blue. Yeah, I saw something blue. Blue. Or maybe it's that light I was looking at. As going off the head. Right, okay. Right, put these things back. Just to make a little bit of space, make the place look presentable. Who might add, I don't know. There you go. Those things back. I don't know how long that's taken, I haven't looked at the time or anything like that. But I can say so it's not cooked, this needs another half hour of cooking. But let me take this away and show you. There you have it. Vegetable stew, fresh produce. Come on, focus up. Not focusing very well. There you go. Vegetable stew. That will be good enough for a man all week. Or woman. All week. And that will taste delicious. I will have a little taste off the top. Just to sort of prove it's not bullshit. But a little taste. We'll see what it tastes like. I think anyway. Bloody delicious, mate. Bloody delicious. There you have it. Vegetable stew. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.